Shalom, Israel. It's your brother Mayak Allah here to talk about Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 in the GNT. It goes in my spirit to want to do this and talk about it live. And before I get started with that, turn towards the east to give all praisers, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. The Wadi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai again for another day. The Wadi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for the ability to praise his holy name in the land of our captivity. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. 12,000 out of each tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel who are supposed to get saved and who are going to get saved in very due time. So let's go straight into it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 1. And I'm going to read all the way on down, which talks about what happened in ancient Egypt and how the Egyptians had to do with so much terror, so much just terrible sightings in general happened unto the Mizraims, those Africans. And why is that? Because the Heavenly Father judged the entire land as a result of doing us harm, the children of Israel, for centuries upon centuries, about, 430 years. And guess what happened? It was just a terrible sight to be alive, to be Egyptian. And here's a perfect account about it. Verse 1, and it says it right here. Terror strikes the Egyptians at night. O Lord, Yahweh, your acts of judgment are marvelous and hard to explain. That is why people who had not been taught about them went astray. When lawless people imagined that they had your holy nation in their power, they were themselves imprisoned in a long night of darkness. And you best believe those are the same people who the Heavenly Father did not care about. He created those heathens to be subjugated under us. But, of course, we were put in subjection under the Egyptians. And they are lawless people because they were never given the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Let me read it again. When lawless people imagined that they had your holy nation, which is Israel, in their power, they were themselves imprisoned in a long night of darkness. And those for 3 days, Egypt was full of darkness. It was just complete, utter blackness. There was no light. There was no signs of life. It was just complete, utter death surrounding the Egyptians. They lay in their own houses, shut off from your eternal care. They were not considered, to be taken care of by even their own gods. You have Osiris, you have Ra. All their gods are nothing but idols, but they trust in these gods. And the Wadi Yahweh Bahashim Shai that they do, because we have a living power and they have a dead power, a powerless power. That's what it really comes down to. They lay in their own houses, shut off from your eternal care. They thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness. But now they were horribly afraid, confused, and terrified by ghostly forms. And you best believe that they were hallucinating. They were looking around. They were probably seeing some really creeping images that just freaked them out. And a lot of them probably died as a result of their fear. Because that is a real thing, by the way, to die by fear. You're so literally encapsulated by so much fear that you just give up the ghost. And you best believe when Yahweh Shai comes back, you're going to see a lot of people drop dead as a result of their fear. Not even the dark corners where they lay could protect them from fear. Even when they were trying to sleep, there was dark images all across their rooms, wherever they resided in their house, as a result of what? A result of the gross darkness that literally covered the entire ancient Egypt. They were surrounded by horrible noises. Grim ghosts with gloomy faces appeared before their eyes. So they were hallucinating. They were seeing all kinds of creepy images. They were probably seeing some demonic forces. Probably the spiritual realm, without a doubt, may have been open for some time during that gross darkness. And they have literally made all the Egyptians fear for their lives. And the Israelites, we were good. We had nothing to worry about. All we had to wait was for all these things to happen, and then we would continue on in our journey. into the wilderness. Let me keep going. Again, they were surrounded by horrible noises, probably people screaming, losing their minds. They were just infatuated with darkness all around as a result, again, of putting the children of Israel in captivity. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the near future for Babylon the Great. And shalom to brother Angel Padilla, Kabak Shana, Yahweh Bashim Yal Shai Barakatah, brother. Shalom. No fire had power to give them light, and the brilliant stars could do nothing to relieve that deathly dark. You see, deathly darkness. It was not just some real, a little bit of darkness here and there. No, it was completely dark. It was scarily dark. That's how dark it was in ancient Egypt. And people were freaking out. They were really losing themselves. And Tawari Hawo Bahashim Yahushai, that all of that was happening. Because if you don't fear the Heavenly Father, you deserve exactly what's going to happen. You deserve to be clouded by a deathly darkness. Let me read on. There was only a dreadful fire lit by no human hand that shone on them, and in terror they believed that the real world was even worse than the things that they imagined. They really thought that the things that they were seeing, the hallucinations, the demonic forces, was much more worse than the real world experiences that they were facing at the same time. You see how terrible the Lord is? And shalom to Ariel Yasharala. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah, brother. Shalom, man. Let me do something real quick. Okay, good to go. The illusions produced by their magic tricks were put to shame, and all the wisdom they had boasted of came to nothing. You best believe the Egyptians were sorcerers, they were magicians, and they will counsel together to use all these different kinds of sorceries to keep our people under subjection. But all of that came to naught, because our power is more powerful than all these things that they had tried to put on us to begin with. We had so much more power through Yahweh. Everybody else, man, especially the Egyptians, man, they got tortured in all kinds of ways that we can only imagine. They had claimed they could drive away all the fears and illnesses of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly, groundless fears. It was constant fear. Let me get this real quick for edification. Hebrews chapter 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And there's no doubt about it. And that's what happened to those people. They fell into the hands of the Adwan Yahweh, the Alashadja. Let's just get it. It's a scary sight to put yourself in harm's way with the Heavenly Father. Why would you want to put yourself there? Don't do that to yourself. You're only asking yourself to really experience terror like no other. Malachi 1:14. But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Adonai Yahweh of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. And you best believe the Egyptians understood who Yahweh was at that time. They understood who our power was, and he was not a power to be fucked with. He was he's literally everything, but they don't have him. They don't have that covering. Only the Israelites have the covering at that time. And again, all praises to the Heavenly Father and the Son for delivering us at that time. And there's going to be a second deliverance, and it's going to happen. There's no doubt. There's literally no doubt in my mind about it. And the last thing, the worst thing you can do right now is to put yourself back into the world where Babylon the Great is going to fall, and you really think the society is somehow going to continue on. You're delusional, and the Lord's just going to simply kill you if you go back into the world. Let me read it again. They had claimed they could drive away all the fears and illnesses of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly, groundless fears. Even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes and animals advancing on them. They were so terrified that they really thought they were gonna die. And that's the power of Yahweh. He's not a power to be joking with. The same power that flooded the whole earth. He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. He's the same power that's gonna destroy Babylon the Great. And you really think you got away with it? Y'all sadly mistaken, man. You better believe and put all your faith, your confidence on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, or expect to get tortured just like the Egyptians had in the ancient world. Again, even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes. Just the sound of snakes was terrifying. And animals advancing on them. It wasn't happening, but they were scared. They were fearful. And so they died, shaking with fear, afraid even to open their eyes, yet unable to keep them shut. They were so scared to even open their eyes, man. Yo, that's terrible. Again, the Alashaja, that's Yahweh. You think he's some weak God? He will make sure you get exactly what you need as it pertains to being wicked and doing harm unto the children of Israel. Not dealing with no powerless God. We're dealing with the Creator himself, Yahweh. Wickedness is cowardly in itself and stands self-condemned. And they condemned themselves, the Egyptians. Pharaoh hardened his heart. And really it was Yahweh that wanted to do it, just so he can prove to the world how much power that he has, and how much he can really inflict damage on a group of people who would do harm unto his people, which are the Israelites. Someone with a guilty conscience will always imagine things to be worse than they really are. And you best believe they had a guilty conscience. Let me get it real quick. How were they treating the Israelites? Let me see. Making us work extra hard to build up their pyramids and sphinxes and the small whatchamacallit, pyramids. They were using us and abusing us, and they didn't care. Let's get it. Exodus 1:12. But the more they afflicted them, that's talking about Israel, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And what's rigor? The quality of being extremely thorough, exhaustive or accurate, severity or strictness, demanding, difficult or extreme conditions. They were extreme on us. They were not playing around. And guess what? Our power came right upon your asses and really smited you, not just physically, but also mentally, spiritually. The Father of all spirits, y'all wanted to play with him? Well, then guess what? He brought upon calamities upon y'all as a result of that. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. They were very hardline with us. They were trying to do the most on us, trying to just be hardcore on the same people who were building up your cities. And because they were afraid of us, they knew how mighty we were. And as a result, the Heavenly Father came in with a bunch of terror on their asses. Let's keep going. Fear is nothing but the failure to use the help that reason gives. And you best believe they were trying to figure out all these kinds of reasons. Why is this all happening? Well, it's because of what y'all did. You reap what you sow, just like it says in Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. And they reaped exactly what they sowed, which was putting rigorous work, putting us in hard bondage, probably working an excruciating amount of hours just to build up their cities and their ancient kingdom. And they got it back sevenfold. When you lack the confidence to rely on reason, you give into the fears caused by ignorance. And they were ignorant to the fact that they were actually the ones that put us in subjection for 430 years. And y'all really thought that y'all could just somehow, y'all got it all scot-free, just like in Babylon the Great. Our people are here doing rigorous work for very little pay. It's nothing new under the sun. And our evil wicked twin brother thinks he could just get away with that. That he doesn't have to pay ever at all. Which is nuts. Crazy. And shalom to descendant of Jacob. Yahweh Shemiah Shah Brakatah, brother. Shalom, man. Jacob's trouble getting closer and closer. I seen a video of a dude in the grocery store and he's seen a pack of chicken wings for $47. Hey, Tawari, how about Shemiah Shah? That's good. We want to see more prices get stocked up. We want to see more drinks get more stocked up. Bring the prices. We're gonna make them go skyrocket. That's what I want to see. That's what all the righteous men and women want to see of Yasharallah. Because we hate this place. We want to see more doom and gloom come upon all you Egyptians, you Chaldeans, that trust in Babylon the Great, which is going to be destroyed, just like I'm reading the account in Wisdom of Solomon 17. The Egyptians, I'm giving you literally what the Egyptians were going through. So, hey, it's only going to get worse. And Jacob's trouble can come in any time soon, because the way the world is looking right now, when it comes to, you have Israel and Gaza, the West Bank, there's still going on with turmoils. There's still wars going on, bloodshed. Just go on X. You're going to see all kinds of violence. And it's nonstop. It's going to continue on. And you best believe Russia ain't playing around with Ukraine. They're gonna take control of Ukraine. It's just a matter of time. And you have China still looking upon Taiwan. And they're going to get Taiwan. It's just a matter of time until when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wants to finally let loose the power to overtake the other powers. Because the king's hand is in the heart of the Heavenly Father. Oh, so like, I think I butchered that. I think it's Proverbs. Let me just get it real quick. The king's heart, in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will, every way of a Salakin. That's about it. I just read the first link to the chapter and verse. But that's the point. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the one that controls everything. Not man. Man don't control shit. You're just a vessel for the Lord. That's all it is. I don't think y'all really understand it. I'm talking, not preaching to you brothers and sisters that know. I'm just talking to the people that are not in the know, that don't know. Let's keep going. In verse 14, all night long, those people slept the same restless sleep. They couldn't sleep. They were so restless. Hey, that's going to come upon you Babylonians. And we're going to laugh. And shalom to Brother Nathan. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatam, my brother. Shalom, man. Again, all night long, those people slept the same restless sleep. They had nightmares. Once they woke up, they had mass sweat on their bodies. You best believe that. And shalom to Hananya. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatam, brother. Shalom. Let's keep going. Restless, full of sweat. They were just fearful of everything. That's going to come upon you Babylonians. And we're going to laugh and we're going to have a great time laughing at you Babylonians. Especially our people, because they didn't consider. They just thought we were jokes. Well, we're going to have the last laugh at the end of the day. So, hey, I don't want to Zach, I be one of them that get preserved from Jacob's trouble, because I don't want to go through that. Fuck that. Man, that's why we make our calling and election sure. Let's keep going. Even though the night held no power over them, since it came from the powerless depths of the world of the dead. Yeah, again, there's no doubt in my mind that during this time in Egypt, the spirit world was actually open. The Egyptians were seeing them. They were freaking out. They didn't know what to do. They were just powerless at this point. And that's going to come upon everybody that doesn't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The world of the dead. They were chased by hideous forms and lay paralyzed as they surrendered themselves to the sudden, unexpected fear that came over that sounds like sleep paralysis. It sounds exactly like it. You just lay there. You're conscious of what's happening. You can see your surroundings, but your whole body is like completely still. You can't move. And that's what they were all experiencing. and good for their asses. People would suddenly collapse and lie locked in the chains of their own fear. It's funny because, man, good for their asses. And we're going to see the same thing happen to you Babylonians. Just keep laughing, keep scoffing. And that only makes us stronger. I don't know. That makes me stronger. Seeing the people, look at me a certain way, talk shit about me. I love that shit because it makes me stronger. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. Farmers, shepherds, and laborers out in the countryside were captured by the same inevitable fate and bound in the darkness by the same invisible chain. It's an invisible thing. And they were still like starstruck by how terrible that night was. It was pitch, you best believe it was pitch black. They couldn't see anything. They were panic stricken by the sighing of the wind, or by the singing of birds in the trees, or by the roar of rushing water, or by the rumble of falling rock, or by the sound of unseen creatures running about, or by the savage roaring of wild animals, or by the echoes from the mountains. So that even just a little bit of how would I say it? Things that were alive, that made them feel a little bit better. But even though that was not enough, they were still being tortured, and rightfully so. In the full light of day, the rest of the world went about its business undisturbed. Only those people who were covered by this heavy night, a foretaste of the darkness of death that was waiting for them. They were a burden to themselves that was even heavier than the darkness. They were their own. You put this on yourselves, you Egyptians, the people of Mizraim. Y'all did this. Now, the same Egyptians, like today, y'all gonna fall victims of the same darkness, the same sword, the same calamities that y'all brought upon the children of Israel. And the Wadi Halba Shimon Shai for that. That's all I really gotta say through the spirit. The Wadi Halba Shimon Shai. And Shalom to Zakar Aban. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shimon Shai Brakatah. And that's all I really gotta say through the spirit. Close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And Shalom to the elected nation of Israel, Kwam Yasharala, Mawathla Babal, Shalom.